So, where are we?
We're in the quaint little town of Chidlow, which is where we're going to be filming some of the railway trail information here, and we'll see what we can find within this town as well. So join us for this video to see and explore with us.
And we're just enjoying a little coffee and pikelets,
Which were homemade by Mum.
yes, at the front of the skate park, which I won't film as there are some kids around playing around on their bikes. This is the original site of Chidlow's Well School, established in 1897 to 1952. And the well has a little plaque on it, erected by the community of Chidlow in honour of the pioneer William Chidlow Jubilee celebration in 1951. So that would have been a year before the school closed down. And as we wander along, listening to the peaceful sound of the birds and the traffic going past, we come across a little walkway with some mosaic tiles. Fortunately, they're a little bit worn, but you can still get the gist of what they're all about. Guess they could have been done by primary school students. Chidlow Catholic Church. Love the old, still the original, or maybe not quite original, but still the old stonework and very fine, detailed. The different shapes. See if we can find a plaque on it as to when it might have been built. Ah yes, here's a little plaque. Church. Well, it's not actually that old. It was actually blessed and opened on the 16th of December 1956. I thought it would have been older than that. Any comments or on it would be greatly appreciated.
Here we are at the Chidlow section of the Railway Reserve Heritage Trail. This one here talks about the Chidlow's well and goes on to saying once the terminus of the second section, and then goes on to say, to describe one as a shallow waterhole into summer. And then goes on to talk about Lake Leshnodia and timber. So as you can see where we are located on the map. So we'll just go film around this area. We have a toilet block. Nice lovely picnic area with barbecues, a small playground and exercising facilities, which is also where we'll find the Chidlow War Memorial. In the honour of all who have served, lest we forget. This memorial is dedicated to all those who served. Talking about the involvement of military conflicts. Here's something of interest, talking about the pies that were piping hot that people would get from the station, talking about how they were delicious. And as we continue our little walk around the park, we have here in Chidlow something that I would call kind of interesting. A steam engine made out of steel beams sitting on a piece of railway line with some sleepers piled up on the end. I find that this is very well made. Don't really know if it's supposed to represent a particular class of locomotive, but I'll let you judge what class you want to say it represents. And just opposite the town post office, there is this section here which I believe could be the original train station by the looks of it. If I am mistaken, please comment below. So here's the post office, which also doubles up as a news agency, where you can also buy gifts. And next door to that we have a real estate. Just near the entrance to town we have this old wooden sign pointing out the town and various locations. There is also a community garden located within the town as well, where I noticed that these two old WAGR, which stands for Western Australian Government Railways, railway freight vans. Here is something talking about all swell that ends well, talking about a reservoir and the two wells at the old Chidlow well that couldn't provide enough water. So it's interesting. Back in the early days, it's actually very interesting to read. The fact that in the early days, during the days when the steam operations, there wasn't always enough water. So they had to either use massive wells, or they used to have to pump water, or take water tanks on board the train to filter through water into the steam locomotives to ensure that they had enough water for their journey. And here we have another one talking about across the Standpipe Reserve, but the Goldfields water supply was buried for a section through Chidlow. Which is interesting, that they rely on bore water.